Hey folks, so in this video we have installed a Zotac 1050 Ti into our small form factor Dell Vostro 3470. So it's kind of ugly. I almost do not even want to show you this, but it is what it is. Hopefully we won't have any fires. So there's the Dell, and you can see the graphics card here. I've got a PCI Express ribbon extender, which is kind of scary, and I also left the VGA cable plugged in. But this monitor has the HDMI cable, so. And it's also running as the primary. So let us see if we can get some scores up here. And happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. I know we've got quite a few in this family. Let's see here if we can run the benchmark on this thing. Of course, it open up over on this side. Interesting. I thought I had a benchmark already on here somewhere. Well, I may have to pause this and go get the benchmark and then redo this. Unless, oh, there it is. Alright, so if we're lucky, this will actually work. Probably got a ton of crap open. Now, I'll probably do a few of these. I hate to say it. We may do 4 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes, 12 gigabytes, and then hell. Now, we can't do 16. I have one 8 gig stick and 3 4 gigabyte sticks, which doesn't really help you for trying to do 16 gigs in there. Now, I could take from my son's computer and get a full 16 gigs. There doesn't really seem to be much of a performance gain from 12 to 16, so I probably won't go to that hassle. Definitely a huge gain from 4 to 8, and a decent gain from 8 to 12, at least in these benchmark things, and noticeable in how much crap you can have open on the computer. So I'm going to pause this until this thing finishes. Alright, so I was wondering if it would get to the graphics part. So there you can see our, in between the graphics, that it does say GTX 1050 Ti on the Acer. And like I said, there it is inside the Dell Vostro. One thing I did notice, and you'll see in my other video, that there is some performance loss with these PCI Ribbon Express cables. Possibly there's better ones out there than the one I got, and that is, you know, kind of disappointing. So this is the first time I've seen this. It's actually running both the integrated graphics and the 1050 Ti. So over here, it's now stepping through that. I may have to run this again, folks, depending on what it comes back with. And boom, we're done. We should see probably some lousy scores. Oh wow, that is actually gaming score is not too bad. I'll take 31% compared to what I've been getting. Alright, so desktop. Oh, one thing I didn't note. This is actually pretty cool. We're using a 8th gen Celeron processor. I've only stuck in 4 gigs of RAM, and I'm getting a 31% gaming score, which, for those of you that follow my channel and or screw around with the user benchmarks, That'll allow you to play 1080p gaming at, depending on the game, low to mid. There are even some that'll actually do high. Now on the other computer there, I have right now I have a Pentium in there, 7th gen. That one will do 4K gaming. I almost have no doubt that this one will do 4K gaming. Now the differences though, let me grab this. Let me grab my scorecard here. With that Pentium, I was able to get scores of best. We'll do the best score: 37, 55, and 30. So while the gaming score I don't really expect to go up much, you will find that the desktop score will just go freaking crazy when I put the i3-8100 in here, and that workstation score will jump up. I would expect the desktop to go to about 60 and the workstation score to be mid 30s to 40%. So yeah, in this case, I would say the PCI ribbon extender is a success. And another thing to note, I also only have the 4 gigs of RAM in here. You will notice pretty much across the board 2 to 3% jump there as we go across from 8 and then when I put in 12. Now another thing that we will eventually put in here, and I actually bought this guy right here, if you can see it, the SATA drive. I actually bought that to put in the Dell. That will also make an incredible performance gain. So quite possible that when I'm all done with this computer, this will be the highest ranked Dell Vostro 3470 on the planet. All right, because ain't nobody else put in a benchmark with a PCI graphics card, PCI Express ribbon extender using a graphics card better than a 1030. So 1030 is supposedly the best graphics card you can fit in this thing, unless you cheat like I did. And you'll note that there is no PCI Express power supply in there, so I could run this simultaneously to power something even more powerful, but that would just be absolutely stupid. And so why I do these videos, people, is not only to get better myself with the Dell Vostro, knowing what it'll do, maybe to help some of you folks out there that might be crazy as I am and just not that I have tons of cash to just keep unloading on this crap, but this does enable me to try out different things. Sadly though, let's look at this a little closer. So like I said, folks, Intel Celeron G4920. She is actually performing quite well. If it was great, it'd be 48%, performing above expectations. That's all I care about. Now, then there's the 1050 Ti. Actually getting a decent score there. It would have been nice to have great, performing above expectations. This is making a huge difference in my graphics score if you've seen the previous videos. And actually, so let's just talk about that. Shoot back up here. This score, the highest I ever achieved was 18% with the i3-8100. Now, you will note that if you look through the best scores that are available for the Dell Vostro, that 20, 21, 22 is the highest. So I am the freaking champion of the gaming percentage. Now, over here, I'm a big fat loser, but, gaming graphics score, I got the highest score. So you've seen it here. Now, I'm not sure if this will run better if I drop the VGA cable, but you can just see how piss poor Intel UHD Graphics 610 is. Not going to work. And surprisingly, the Seagate Barracuda drive actually had a really good score this time. Usually it sucks. So I'm kind of surprised by that score, but hell, I'll take it. And then, you know, hey, 4 gigs of RAM are cranking. That's surprising. So we're doing good. Probably need to run this again. All right, so let's look at this, folks, while we have time. And this, I think, is what the typical scores are. But let's look at the 51 builds out there real quick, if I can pull this up. Okay, so user benchmarks for this system. And gaming. There I am, people. Woo! The champ! The champ! 31%. You will not see anybody flashing a higher score than me. 31%. Now, let's look at 42 more. Now, what I need to do with this is I not only want to be the gaming champ on here, but I want to rock desktop and not as important workstation, but at least desktop. I'd like to get up there on the workstation, but you see how piss poor my CPU score is. This guy's he's running i7 8700 here and just cranking, but his GPU score sucks compared to me. So he doesn't even have a solid state drive. Now this guy here has solid state. Surprisingly, same processor. So I'm not really sure how that works out, but you'll see down here, workstation, the i3s. Trying to find the best i3 score. This is the guy I want to beat right here, folks. And I'm going to destroy him shortly. All right, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.